Hey guys, good afternoon and welcome to Your Stocks. I'm Pavitra. With me is Ekta. And, we are going to talk about all of the earnings that have come through today because it's just really been all about that. We had M&M and now SBI, which after quite a disappointing set is down over 2.5%. And Ekta, this is a stock that anyway was going into its earnings quite weak, right? I think for the week, it's now down around 6.5%. So big moves coming through on the market also on the back of that.
Hi, Pavitra. Yes, absolutely. I think it is the net interest margins as well as the slippages which were higher and the net interest margins lower. So it seems as though the street wasn't really too happy with the State Bank of India numbers. Nonetheless, we do have M&M as well, which is down around 0.8%. So we do have a lot to discuss in the next couple of minutes. We are waiting by for the State Bank of India press conference to begin as well. So while we do wait by, we do have a couple of queries lined up and we have Astha Jain to take us through it. Astha, hi, welcome to the show. Well, wanted your quick thoughts first, with the two big numbers which have come out in the past 1 hour. Let's start with State Bank of India.
Okay, hi, good afternoon. So talking about SBI, I think the net profits were really very strong because they were above expectations. In fact, net interest income was also very high. In fact, if I look at their GNP and NNP ratios, so they have also shown significant improvement. But I think, yes, the slippages are somewhat, the streets are really not liking, and that's why we are seeing the stock prices to be in the pressure right now. But I think in a long term, definitely, whatever numbers the bank has posted, that will really yield the benefit. So in the short term, might be we can see some sort of a pressure on the stock prices, but in the long term, I think again the stock will gain the momentum and will move the prices move past 600.
Okay, got that. That is on SBI. The other big one that came through is M&M. I do want to talk to you about your earnings, but before that, the company has clarified on their investments into RBL Bank, saying that, their capital allocation framework is unchanged. They're not looking at increasing the investment right now. How do you read that right now for M&M?
So definitely, whatever the management has commented right now, so I think the streets were closely looking after that, and that will be really need to be seen in the long term how it will be affecting. But I think the prima facie, whatever the management has commented, I think that can really impact the stock prices at the initial level. But in the long term, the details need to be read, and then we can take some steps. But in the initial levels, I think we can see some sort of a lower price movement on the stock.
Okay, all right. So that's the view coming in from Astha on M&M as well as State Bank of India. Some more numbers on your screen. Bharat Dynamics, where the net profit is up around 5% on a year-on-year basis. And the other statistics or reporting will come up for you as well in terms of that particular stock. Well, before we move forward, Astha, wanted your quick thoughts on a couple of these numbers which have, in fact, surprised the street on the upside. Zomato, what would your thoughts be? Is it a buy?
So talking about the Zomato, yes, the numbers really look very impressive. And what we are thinking is that, whatever they have done in the past, Blinkit, etc., now they are started paying the results. So definitely numbers are looking good. And that's why we think that the stock has the potential to move upside from here. So maybe we can see the stock prices rise 10 or 15% more from the current levels. So yes, Zomato is looking strong to us. And I think buying on dips is a strategy which we can recommend at this stage.
All right, Zomato looking quite strong. By the way, Bharat Dynamics, the stock has seen quite a sharp cut come through right now. It's down 5.5%. The revenue is down around 57%. The profit growth has been very, very muted this time around. So there you have it on your screen. It's around a 6% cut that we are seeing for Bharat Dynamics. Of course, it has moved well in the past, of course, because the entire defense play. So if you look at it for the year, it's up around 25%. But nonetheless, right now, the numbers looking a bit weak, a bit lost at around 32, 33 crores as well coming through on Bharat Dynamics. Astha, how do you look at Bharat Dynamics and also the entire defense theme? Within defense also, what do you like? And, if someone is to invest right now at current levels, do you think it's a little too late, or do you think there's lots more in terms of this theme actually playing out and the defense stocks moving higher?
So definitely the numbers are not looking that good prima facie. But in the entire defense space, the way Bharat Electronics Limited has come out with the numbers, I think that are really very impressive. So if I talk about this particular counter, their order book is very high. And in fact, the kind of industry they are into, aerospace, electronics, and I mean this electronics component of the defense space will be really gaining momentum going ahead, because we are expecting this industry to rise at a strong CAGR of more than 10% for coming 2 to 3 years. And that's why I think Bharat Electronics is looking very strong to us. Although being a PSU, it is a very slow mover. So it may take some time to, I mean, show some momentum. But I think 145 is looking right now on cards. So Bharat Electronics in the defense space is looking very strong to us. And we are recommending buy on it with a price target of 145 to 150 at the initial levels.
Okay, all right, Astha, we've got a bonus stock call from you because we were in fact discussing Bharat Dynamics, which has come out with what is a very weak set of numbers. The revenue is down 57% on a year-on-year basis. The margins also are, in fact, it's an EBITDA loss of over 30 odd crores this quarter. So it's been a very weak performance. There could be some kind of maybe tax write back, which has resulted in a profit of around 41 odd crores. So wanted your thoughts on Bharat Dynamics.
So that's what I have said earlier. The numbers are really looking weak prima facie, and that's why I think in this kind of environment where we are seeing that the defense space is not working that I mean badly. In fact, if I talk about the Bharat Electronics, also the numbers were okay. So in that environment, the Bharat Dynamics are not posting strong set of numbers, so that is not looking good to us, and that's why our stance is that stay away from the stock for some time. Let the stock show some sort of positive momentum in the financial performance going ahead, maybe the next quarter or so, and then one can take the exposure in the stock. But right now, stay away from the stock because Bharat Dynamics numbers are not looking good to us.
Okay, well, what is looking good is definitely Cipla, which is at a record high in today's trading session. So obviously, Astha, there's a lot of interest with regards to Cipla. There could be the succession plan which comes through, which could probably be an entire stake sale of the promoter holding. In that context, how would you approach Cipla? Do you think there's further upside, and what might the fundamentals look once the current promoters exit, if in case that does happen?
So, see, I don't think that street is like not happy with all the, what are the happenings going on right now in the company. In fact, we are seeing the way the stock prices are showing the upside momentum. It is really looking very strong. So even at this point of time also, I think the Cipla has that potential that it can show more upside from here. And if I talk about the industry as a whole, we are seeing very strong momentum in the industry because the kind of numbers we are getting from the other players also, like Dr. Reddy's of the world, the numbers are really looking very strong. So I think the pharma is in really a very strong flavor right now, and that in that Cipla and Dr. Reddy's are really looking very strong to us. I think Cipla is also has the potential to move more upside from here. So definitely Cipla is a hold from my side. In fact, if some fall come, then definitely one should accumulate or buy on dip strategies can also be implemented for Cipla.
Oh, absolutely. This entire pharma space has been buzzing. It's up 21%, the index itself for the year right now. So that is definitely looking very good. Astha, anything you like from the mid-cap pharma companies? Anything that you would recommend there?
From the mid-cap pharma, we are not very much, positive right now the way the numbers are coming. But yes, one thing I can say, because Concord Biotech is one of the IPO which has started right now, and again, it is from the pharmaceutical space. So this company is looking good to us. So in the mid-cap space, if anyone wants to go with anything, then Concord Biotech is looking good as an IPO investment. Otherwise, I think in the large cap, we are really very positive. And in fact, Dr. Reddy is a buy from our side for the potential price target of 6,200.
Okay, I think we're going to have time to squeeze in just one final question, and I'm going to ask you about Britannia because those numbers are expected today as well from the Nifty pack. And, we are expecting a strong set this time around with volume growth of around 4 to 5%. That is what is expected. How do you look at the Britannia stock? Do you think that this is a good investment opportunity? And even if there's something else within the FMCG space that you prefer, take us through that too.
So I'll answer the last question first. Nestle is really looking good to us, and in the FMCG space, we are very much positive on that stock. Now, talking about the Britannia also, yes, we are also expecting the volume growth of around 5 to 6%. And if the management will be able to deliver on the expected lines, then definitely this can be a candidate for a buy also. Because in the last quarter also, what we have seen that they have posted very strong numbers on the year-on-year basis. So definitely, I think. Britannia is, if they post the numbers on the expected line, then it can show for the momentum. But right now, anything in the FMCG space, then it is Nestle from our side, and we are positive on the stock since last 1 or 2 quarters. Here, I can see the price target of around 24,500 to 25,000 in the long term.
Okay, all right, Astha, we're going to let you go now. Thanks very much for joining in and taking us through a couple of these queries that we have. Well, for the markets, it's up around 100 odd points for the Nifty. We're off the day's high. Maybe a little bit of disappointment from State Bank of India has dampened a little bit of the enthusiasm that we've seen. So for the mid-cap index, up over 300 odd points, marginally outperforming as compared to the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty. That's all the time that we have in the show. But do remember to email us all of your queries. We'll address them as always with our experts. Stay tuned. Closing that up.